Welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 23 properties, and there's always stuff to talk about, so we'll make sure we let you know the good stuff in the list. And after this, I'm heading over to see a client and a good friend of mine who invests a lot in U.S. real estate. I know right now a lot of people are saying, well, our dollar is not good, why would we buy in the U.S.? Remember, the rent checks come in US dollars. So it can be a good time regardless. And the biggest thing now that we see in Milton is that the prices have reached a point where the rents haven't caught up at the same pace. So now you buy a townhouse for $450,000, your expenses are probably over $2,000 a month, and you can only rent the thing for $1,500–$1,600. So it doesn't end up making sense as an investment. Whereas you could go down to the US, make the same amount of rent, and pay like $160,000 for it. So big difference. If you're interested in making that connection, reply back to my email. Just reach out to me. Let me know, hey, I'm interested in learning more about US investments, and I can put you in touch with my friend Peter. So let's get started with today's list. So 341 Wilson, number 17. It's getting hard to find anything under $300,000 in Milton. This one has condo fees of about $300 a month. It's in Dorset Park. There's lots of park space nearby. And the agent was clever. In the broker comments, which the public doesn't see, he lets you know that the baseboard heat in this home is $260 a month through the winter. Seems a little bit high, but not completely off the mark. But remember, heat, hydro, and water are on the same bill on this home. Okay, so you're not splitting up heat and hydro because the baseboards use electricity, and then your water is attached on your hydro bill too. So that doesn't seem too bad. And when you look at the price point on something like this, I think there's definitely some value there. Baseboards, I used to really, if you look at episodes from years ago, I used to be really tough on them, but I've started to see the wisdom. And we talked about landlords at the beginning of the episode. Landlords love baseboard heat too, because it's then the electricity is paid by the tenant. It's very simple to monitor that. And they're very cheap to replace too. So you can have different temperatures in different parts of the house. Lots of interesting things that maybe if you look at it through the right lens, make them not such a bad choice. Anyway, it's a good price for this home. Now the next one is really looking to break some records. I don't know about this kind of avant-garde, like weird side-angled diagonal window shot, but here's the thing, 369, like a good townhouse these days, condo townhouse, probably sells for like 340. So at 369, they're above the mark, but they put $125,000 into this home. First of all, I don't see that. Second of all, why would you put a Ferrari engine in like, Hyundai Sonata kind of thing? Like there's nothing wrong with this, but that's way over improving. Like this shower, it's just, I understand you do it for your own personal use, but eventually you have to be aware of the fact that you have to sell the bloody thing to somebody, and you have to justify why this home is worth so much more. I would say at least half of that $125K is probably just washed away because there's only so high that these can go. And I'm going through the same thing with my house now. I've got some flooring that I want to do and a couple other things. And I always look at it like, what's the maximum potential that a home like mine would reach? And you have to be prudent about that. So if you want some more advice about the things you should and shouldn't do in a home, that's what we're here for. So we've got a first floor at Ambassador. We just saw a unit that's been lingering for a long time. They dropped their price, I think, down to $379 or $375. Ended up getting an offer on it. So at $369 for 2-bedroom, 2-washroom, I think this is good. I love the first floor, especially for people who are retired and they're downsizing, because a lot of them, it's very tough to purchase something without any green space, like just a balcony or something like 100 Millside that doesn't even have anything unless you walk out of the building. So this to me is a huge selling feature, and I like this one. I like everything about it. The price looks good, the size, it's all kicking. Now Jasper is an interesting one here too. So you get a 30 by 80 foot lot, which is funny enough the size of that one on Teetsley yesterday. But you're close to downtown. $399 is a pretty good price for any semi-detached. It doesn't look too bad at all. Now, here's the thing, too, is that you've got train tracks right there. Boom, right behind you. Inside, looks nice. Done some work in the kitchen. Open concept. And skylights and things like that. So, nice looking home. On the map, here's where it is. So there's Mill Pond and all the lovely trails around Mill Pond. I mean, it's really a cool place to be. Martin Street's going through a reno. There's the train tracks. There's 202 Jasper right there. So anyway, and then downtown along Main Street and stuff like that. So if you love location, this one can be a great alternative. It looks like they've done the furnace and the AC as well. Make sure you get a good inspector in for a home like this because, and I'll mention an inspector further away in the episode, but homes built before World War II, anything before about 1950, you've got to really be careful because they're a whole other animal. And a lot of people in Milton don't understand that. I came from Toronto. I did real estate in Toronto for years, so I got to see all those old homes downtown and some of the problems that could come up with them. So I like the price point on this. You just want to definitely dot your I's and cross your T's. Now, if you want a big condo, this is the one for you. 33 Whitmer 304, 519, 3-bedroom, 1464 square feet, 9-foot ceilings. Obviously, you have all the great things that Greenlife offers with geothermal heat and solar panels. For a unit this size, to have condo fees of $200, like if you went over to Millside, this would be like $900 a month to pay for this on a per square foot. It faces north, and so there's some older buildings on Main Street right here. You get some nice escarpment views too. The sunsets would look awesome from this balcony, but these houses are all slated for future development. I don't think there's going to be massive buildings there. But there could, I don't know what could be there. It hasn't been finalized at this point. So, good pick. I love this building too. 519, we'll see. This will be the first condo that goes over 5 if it does sell. Now, in this neighborhood, we just talked about another one that's listed for the same price as this one here on Low Lane. You've got a semi-detached open concept layout, finished basement. At 550, this one's about 1,800 square feet. I like it. I think this price point is kind of a sweet spot for this size with that basement too. So you always want to check things like the roof and the windows and the furnace and AC because the age of this home is getting to that place where a lot of them need that kind of work. So plan that into your budget, but just just from first impression, I would say they're in a good price point. Personally, I like 550, 550, 000 versus 549.9 because you get that double exposure from two different price ranges where you're the first one from 550 to 600, you're the last one from 500 to 550. It just makes sense from a marketing perspective. Now, if you're a regular watcher of Daily Homes, you know that I absolutely picked this one on Heslop apart last time I saw it. So you can see it's a flip. Somebody purchased it, put the improvements in, and then turned around and sold it. I'll try and find the video archive, but I looked through every picture and I found all these little holes and flaws and things that, like different door frame sizes, and I don't know. I haven't seen this one in person, but I don't get the best impression from what I see in the pictures. Be very careful on something like this. Next up, I heard about this one a couple days ago because I'm friends with the agent on Facebook. McNabb Crescent, 749.9. So if you get a home in an older neighborhood, sometimes what we have to do, if it's been significantly renovated, is we've got to look at what's going on in the new section. So if you were to buy a 50 by 120 foot lot, which is massive in the new area, and you were to find a home that's less than 2,500 square feet plus a finished basement, for this price, you'd say, hey, I'm doing really well, even without the lot there too. So they've put a lot of work into this one. I think they priced it really well, and I think the demand for a modern renovated home in an older area with a big lot is that's an unquenchable thirst in the market. I think there's always demand for something like that. So this is a really cool looking house. I don't love the kind of having like the little modular bath fitter design. I'd much rather see a custom bath there too. But the house looks pretty awesome. So it was originally this, right? So anything under here, that was the original house, and they put all this structure above there too. It's a very interesting one. I'd love to go see it in person, and I think they've got a real good thing going for them, especially by the fact you have a main floor master bedroom plus 4 bedrooms upstairs. That could really work well for someone. So there is some more fun in this episode. Make sure to check out Hull and Rake, 3,300 square feet backing onto green space. The one on MacArthur, the master bedroom, looks amazing. So there's lots to talk about. Have a look at the link. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. And if you're thinking about investing in real estate, not just in the US, but particularly if you're thinking US, reach out to us, and I know we can point you in the right direction. Like I said, unfortunately, a lot of the homes in the areas that we work in, they're not always the best investment properties. They're great places to live, but they're not good investment properties. Anyway, reach out to us. We'll point you in the right direction. Have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Thank you.